From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. The political world is still feeling the reverberations of Joe Biden's announcement that he will not seek re-election in this fall's U.S. presidential vote. Reporter Sagar Meghani says the president's decision to leave the race happened fast.
The president's senior staff found out he was leaving the race a minute before the message went public. Until the last minute, he was all in. But people familiar with the president's thinking say Saturday night he started coming to the conclusion he would not run and started writing a letter to the American people while isolated at his Delaware beach house with COVID.
Biden will continue to serve as president until the end of his term. A wildfire burning near Williams Lake, BC, in the province's central interior forced some residents to flee their homes as part of a tactical evacuation. The province's Minister for Emergency Management, Bowen Ma, has since noted that further evacuation alerts have been issued for other communities in the region. Officials say the fast-growing blaze started Sunday afternoon and is now among the 175 wildfires classified as out of control. A week after being forced from their homes, Labrador City residents will soon be able to return to their community. The official evacuation order ends today at noon. However, essential workers and their families were allowed to return over the weekend. Newfoundland and Labrador Premier Andrew Furey says the staggered return plan allows the more than 7,000 residents to return home safely and orderly. And the good news continues, with officials noting that the town did not suffer any damage. On to the international stage now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is headed to Washington, leaving behind a brutal war to make a politically precarious speech in front of the joint session of U.S. Congress.
The departure comes at a time of great uncertainty following President Joe Biden's withdrawal from the presidential race, with efforts ongoing to bring about a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, rising concerns of the war spreading to Lebanon and Yemen, and the U.S. in the midst of a dizzying election campaign. Netanyahu's speech has the potential to cause disarray on both sides of the ocean. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And finally, Twisters huffed and puffed its way to the top of the weekend box office.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast.
They ran toward the tornadoes at movie box offices this weekend. Twisters, with a blockbuster opening, $80.5 million in ticket sales in North America, say studio estimates. A sequel to the 1996 hit Twister with different characters.
Look up.
Universal also had the number 2 movie, Despicable Me 4, in 3 weeks, grabbing over $259 million domestically. Inside Out 2 third, Long Legs 4th. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, starting in the CFL, where the Calgary Stampeders managed to hang on for a 25-24 victory over the BC Lions. Clark Barnes caught a 5-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Jake Meyer to secure the win. George Springer hit 2 homers and drove in 3 runs to help lead the Toronto Blue Jays to a 5-4 victory over the visiting Detroit Tigers. Now looking ahead, the Jays open a 3-game series Tuesday against the visiting Tampa Bay Rays. Elsewhere in the MLB, Shohei Ohtani made his 30th home run in Dodger blue, a memorable one. The star slugger drove a cutter from Boston pitcher Cutter Crawford 473 feet over the Dodger Stadium bleachers during the 5th inning of Sunday night's game against the Red Sox. Ultimately, the Dodgers won 9-6. And Xander Schauffele won the British Open, posting a bogey-free 65 at Royal Troon to get his name on the silver claret jug. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.